They canceled the crown, they tried to burn the throne. Said the party was over, left him all alone. Fought with his past, a controversial line. Yeah, a king in exile from his own land and time. But the ashes are glowing, a fire in the dark. He's got a new mission, a brand new mark. A little black cat with emerald eyes showed him the miracle, a new sunrise. Oh, Milo's back and he's on the attack. A fabulous warrior, there's no turning back. He's the great destroyer, Shiva in the fray, to burn the hypocrisy and shows the way. The quiet boys preach with venom and might about women and gays in the pale moonlight. But he knows the secrets, the whispers and sins. He's got the receipts and the war begins. Santa says hush with a panic plea. He can't say that, but Milo is free. No one ever sues me, he says with a grin. Bring on the lawsuit, let the games begin. Oh, Milo's back and he's on the attack. A fabulous warrior, there's no turning back. He's the great destroyer, Shiva in the fray, to burn the hypocrisy and shows the way. The thick of the wrist and a line so precise. He's cutting the liars, he's rolling the dice. They dope out Candace, the grieving souls fight. He stood in the fire and he made things right. Said I don't have to agree to know what is true. He's defending his own, it's what he must do. For his help in this fight for our soul, 'cause this unbeatable spirit makes us whole. Oh, Milo's back and he's on the attack. A fabulous warrior, there's no turning back. He's the great destroyer, Shiva in the fray, to burn the hypocrisy and shows the way. The flick of the wrist and a line so precise. He's cutting the liars, he's rolling the dice. Milo's back and he's on the attack. Yeah. The great destroyer, watch him go. Miles back, and he's beautiful.
The dews drop slowly as our dreams take flight, with spears unknown that hurtle through the night. The fallen horsemen clash, the cries resound. Lost arms flaming gate. We bow to you, the master of our fate. The world may spin with empires lost and found, yet in your cosmos sacred truths abound. We're tired of empires, their endless wars. To simpler truths we open up the doors. In the Black Valley where the shadows play, we seek the peace that quiets endless fray. Our dreams laid out beneath the starlit sky. In the silent cosmos, our spirits lie. We're tired of empires, their endless wars. To simpler truths we open up the door.
Welcome, folks. Let me pull up Temple Bar there. It's a wee bit windy. Yesterday was quite windy, and they're saying that it's going to come back on Sunday or Monday. So, batten down the hatches, folks. How are you all? Welcome to the Anti-Broadcast. We are waiting for, I assume, Morgan to fix some tech issues. And speaking of tech issues, he deleted one of the scenes on Restream here. I'll have to have a word with him. How are you guys out there? I hope you liked my AI song dedicated to Milo Yiannopoulos there at the beginning. All right, drive safe out there, Saoirse. And yeah, hello to Dennis Carr. I'm going to issue a warning because, you know, they're not very good at these warnings, are they? There's a recall for this booze. I've never had it before. Morgan says he might need to reboot. That's usually the solution, isn't it? Turn it off and turn it on again. Disarono. I wouldn't spend €27 on a bottle of liquor or whatever that might be. My days of rolling the dice that way are over. I just like my run-of-the-mill whiskey, you know, and Kahlua, you know, for Christmas, you know, brandy, you know, a nice variety to dip in and out of. That's what I look forward to this Christmas. But never touched Disaronno. It's Italian. That's how you know it's fancy. Now, the reason why you might want not to drink this is that it's got micro pieces of glass in it. Now, I don't know if they're big enough to like tear cells open or something. I don't know how glass operates on that scale, but I wouldn't risk it if I were you. So if you've bought that recently, get yourself a refund. Um, who else? Neve is in the chat. And Dennis keeps misspelling her name. He keeps leaving out the H at the end. Just so you know, I'm not trying to embarrass you or anything. We've got a show today, as usual. And that will begin whenever Morgan's PC boots up. Because it's it's just not a thing. It's not possible. We can't do a show without video. Because we're so vain. We insist that you must see us. No, it's just audio videos don't really do much, do they? Unless there's video game footage, then it works for Gen Z. But none of us here are Gen Z, are we? It came from watching the Step Brothers, the movie, Neve, Step Brothers. Sorry, I didn't mean to embarrass you, Dennis. Let's look a bit of the news while we await Morgan. It's really just the same junk, only it's more traumatic, and that's how they do it. You need to keep up in the ante because the things that they're doing and getting away with are so atrocious that the distraction has to be bigger and bigger. Now you're a black screen. Maybe that's yeah, there you are. All right. Hop on there. Okay. All right. Oh yeah.
How are you? Grand. Running around like a fucking gobshite. Yeah, I'm good. Because what's happening? Booze being recalled?
Yeah. Have you ever had this one? Hang on a second. Let me bring it up again. I can't even pronounce it, man.
Disaronno.
Right.
No, never heard of it.
Well, it's got micro pieces of glass dust or dust glass in it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Is that a bonus, is it? Jesus Christ, you think the quality checks would be better than that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, why is everything being recalled? It's like every month there's something being recalled.
I don't know. Maybe they're getting us used to the future when your photo will appear on television and you've been recalled, or your surname, like all Harringtons are being recalled, like or Umbungos, all Umbungos are being recalled. Please report to your local Lidl, and we'll put you on a flight back to the factory. Yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised you even notice. I never. The only place I see a recall is if I walk into a shop, and I just ended up ignoring them because it's like, well, it's a bit fucking late, isn't it? Anytime anything's ever been recalled, I've normally used it already, or I never use it in the first place. Yep. So yeah, I suppose the lesson there is just buy fresh food where you can. It's a bit hard with alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe try a trusted brand. I've never heard of that Disaronno. Do we know where it comes from? Where is it manufactured?
It's Italian. I mean, whether it's actually manufactured in Italy is another question. But yeah, I was just saying, I like, on Christmas, I don't like to experiment. I just like the same set liquors in the house. Yeah, you got your Jameson whiskey, Bailey's, Kahlua, maybe pink gin. Mix it up throughout the days.
Yeah. So what is it? A liquor or a liqueur?
I think it's a liqueur.
Okay.
Even what was this? The Mirror or whatever it was wouldn't use the word liquor even.
All right.
That's even below them.
How are we getting glass dust into?
That's a fucking good question.
Like I can understand if it's done maliciously, someone's just
Mm.
into the factory. Like maybe it's part of some Muslim Brotherhood plot to stop people drinking alcohol. I know they're trying very hard to integrate people in Italy, so maybe that's part of their new integration
Mm.
plan. Or unless, well, even if they were making their own bottles, which wouldn't be a thing now, would it? It would just be far too expensive, wouldn't it, for a company to
In-house.
in-house make their own
Mm.
bottles. Um,
Mm.
yeah, that should be. Where was that in the newspaper? Was it?
Yeah, I forget which one. I think it was fucking the Mirror or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's a pretty important one, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, and look, it didn't even have the name of the drink in it. It just said 27 euro bottle of liquor or liquor.
Right.
Because it's clickbait. Because ad revenue is more important than our health.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Journalism. But you asked how did I even come across that? Because when I have time alone with the chat before you come on, I need to talk about something. So I look at news.google.com and look, oh, there we go, another recall. So unless you go and literally actively go to read the news, which none of us do, then in order to preserve your health, tune in to the anti-broadcast every Wednesday and Saturday, and I'll let you know if there's a poisonous thing out there.
Yeah, yeah. It's called alcohol. There's a poison in the poison. What are we going to do? Yeah, but you don't want your poisoned. That's just a step too far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What have we got tonight?
Right.
So we have drones. Drones are being attacked by Russian drones all of a sudden. I'm sure people noticed last week when we had the visit from Mr. Z. That the news soon broke that there was drones everywhere, or at least 5 of them spotted over Dublin airport first. Because the Russians are crafty, but they're not so crafty that they arrived before his flight actually got there. And then rather than hang around and wait, they decided to, fly 10 kilometers away out to sea, out by Howth, and hover over the Irish Navy's one of their 2 vessels for 2 hours, I think it was. And then the guards got very upset after they found out, because they were saying, why didn't you shoot the fuckers down? Like they shot them down in France and Denmark. They tried to shoot them down. But then as we get into the news a couple of days later, it transpires the Navy wanted to keep it under wraps. They didn't want to even mention it, but somehow it leaked. Isn't that amazing? Like the story just fucking leaked all over the place. So it kind of caught my eye for a couple of reasons. One, I fly drones. I was going to say one as a qualified pilot. That sounds impressive, but it's a piece of piss if you go.
What, like 15 quid online to a half-hour quiz?
Yeah, multi-choice quiz, which you can keep doing until you pass it. Which is a little bit unfair, because if you break any of the rules, you're fucked. It's like they're actually harsher than most grievous bodily harm offenses.
Yeah, you were being persecuted by them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and others. Like you fart and they're on top of you in a moment's notice. So we had the whole of Dublin, because I got the notifications, because I used the app that lets me know where you can and can't fly, given certain situations. And for 3 days, the whole of Dublin airspace was closed down in preparation for Zed to come over and visit us. And then this news breaks that these 5 mysterious drones, and of course we've no radar, so we can't pick them up via radar.
You have no radar?
We've no radar, at least at sea. We've no capability at sea radar. I think we had radar at one stage, but we gave it away to Ukraine because we were we were feeling sorry for them, like it was part of the non-lethal aid that we give them. We gave them the ESB generators. What would we need them for? It's not like we live in a fucking stormy country where the weather, when there's a strong breeze, half the country's fucking electricity goes for 3 or 4 weeks at a time. I think we gave them some ambulances, a couple of €100 million, I don't know, for drinks and cigarettes, something like that. And what radar we had, mobile radar. So as things stand at the moment, we've no radar at all. We're like usually wholly reliant on the UK and whatever equipment's up there in the north that we're
This
storing.
country is becoming Father Ted. Like
Yes.
it was like a curse that Linehan unleashed upon us, and it just took this long for it to take effect.
Yeah. So yeah, you don't need Father Ted anymore. You just get somebody roaming around the streets of Ireland with a live stream, and it's endless fucking entertainment for an international base. So yeah, so we've no way of spotting them, but we spotted them. The Navy managed to spot them from the ship, because after they left the airport, when they arrived early, they went over, I don't know, probably bored. Maybe drone pilots get bored too. So they said, oh, fuck it. Let's go out to the coast, have a look, see what's happening. Oh, there's a naval ship there. And I believe it was in international waters, the Navy ship. According to the Navy, I knew it was in international waters. So these drones hover over the Navy ship for 2 fucking hours, mind you. 2 hours, like, it's just like nothing better to be doing than just hovering there for 2 hours. So initially I goes, well, hang on a minute. That seems a very long time for a drone to be hovering over a ship, because, you know, drones for personal use, you normally get like, 20 minutes, half an hour out of the battery, and then it's time to bring it down and replace the battery. But I imagine, military grade drones, if that's what they were, could manage a lot longer than that, So then I had a look through all the Russian drones, and they said they were hovering as well. And the vast majority of drones that the Russians have, or any military have, they don't hover. They're long range drones. So, they're essentially planes without a pilot, big miniature planes. So I said, that doesn't sound right. But then I did look further, and they do indeed have quadcopters as their proper name. So they have a couple of different types of quadcopters. And they have one that can indeed hover for 24 hours. So theoretically, it is possible that,
Can we get one of those batteries?
we have to spend a few quid. We'll have to spend a hell of a lot of money. Like it's, so yeah, we'll need, like, maybe we start to GoFundMe, like, for, I don't know, 200 grand, so we can buy a fucking drone that hovers up to 5,000 meters for 24 hours at a go. Yeah, we'll have we'll be locked up for fucking 20 years for Christ's sake, with that kind of technology. So yeah, the Navy described it as pallet sized, which is a fairly big fucking drone to have, and then, like I said, the Gardaí were giving the Navy a hard time, saying, well, why on earth didn't you just shoot it down? So then the Navy explained to the Gardaí, well, it's not just as simple as that. We can't just start, firing at drones in the middle of the ocean willy-nilly. They have rules of engagement, especially if they're in international waters. They just can't fire willy-nilly because they spot something and they don't know what it is. Like, so they have to take certain things into consideration. They have to receive orders from the higher ups, which maybe tells us more about the Gardaí than it does about the Navy, that, the Navy actually have rules of engagement. Like, oh, there's something that looks suspicious, let's beat it, kick it, shoot it, and then we'll investigate what it is.
Yeah, because the Gardaí don't actually have anyone above them that will actually, kick them into order.
Yeah. No, it's just, kick it.
There's no consequences.
Yeah. Is it alive? Okay, well then let's take it under. Yeah, exactly. Let's tase the drone. Like, and so then the drones as well, they have their lights on. So again, if you have lights on and it's a drone, you can't shoot it out of the sky because it's identifying itself essentially. And beyond that, if it was actually a series of Russian drones, probably not a great idea to start blowing them out of the fucking sky, because, the Russians might take it badly. And it might be a provocation in the first instance to see, okay, are there any small idiotic countries out there who classify themselves as neutral, who are willing to start shooting some Russian drones out of the sky, if indeed they were Russian drones to begin with, because it's all very suspicious to me, because, we've had this story in the news cycle probably for a year, not in Ireland, but, these same drones appear in France, in Belgium, Denmark, I think Lithuania, Latvia, And it seems every country where people are trying to, or the government is trying to increase their military spending, these drones just pop up out of nowhere, hover around for a while, and then the governments go, okay, well, now it's clear as day. We need to increase GDP on defense spending by, 10%. And of course, our Irish politicians were straight off the bat saying, yes, this is, it's clear we don't have the capability to spot these in the first place, do anything about it. So we need to get the GDP up from 1.5, whatever percentage it is, up to, I think, a minimum of 2.5%. And we just so happen to, in the new year, Ireland will take over the presidency of the EU, the rotating presidency, and part of the Denmark had it, or still have it to date. And part of the agenda they set was for increased military spending within Europe, and also a harder stance and crackdown on migration. So we'll see what the Irish government does with that. But I'm just, I don't know whether to buy it, that, just completely dismiss it, that it's just a pure fucking psyop. But then I have to take into consideration that it's not beyond Russia, and it would make perfect sense for Russia to be sending over surveillance drones, because they classified it as an act of hybrid warfare. And it is a very good way to get dopey European countries to, spend, freak out, spend what little money they have on weapons that they're never going to fucking use anyway. Then, cause panic, like shut down airports, then massive investigations. I mean, things in Ireland aren't cheap. So the estimated cost now for this investigation into what happened with these drones is going to be something like, 5 to 10 million euros. You can imagine if they do this on a continual basis, even once a month, to close down a massive international airport. But what it does show is how pathetically unprepared Ireland is to defend itself at all. And that leaves me in a bind, because I don't want our country to essentially be defenseless. But I wouldn't trust the sheriff we have in power at the moment with a BB gun. And I couldn't in good faith go, well, you know what? Yes, go ahead, spend, increase the military spending, at least initially. But we did mention last week that, strategically, we might have to bite our tongues and say, well, you know what? If we're going to be serious as a small country, say, to get in line with somewhere like Denmark or Holland, that we will have to indeed accept the fact that we will need some sort of military. Now, we're going to need a new constitution to go along with the military, and we're going to need a well-armed populace, just in case the people who get into power turn a little bit sour and point that very military in our own direction. But we may well have to, eventually get over this kind of neutrality issue, hard as it is. But maybe we can start with arming the population first, and then we can increase military spending after that.
Well, isn't Switzerland, as like the last few years, allegedly neutral? But like everyone by law has like a fucking shotgun at home.
Oh yeah, they have submachine guns. I think they have to be kept in a safe location.
Yeah,
but yeah, there's no reason why we can't have an actual military
militia. Well,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, militia. That's a better. Militias. I much prefer militias than a state military complex.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that, like, we're not going to go marching off to invade somewhere. Like we're at an island. We don't need a military, really, do we? We just need a bunch of fucking crazy fuckers with guns, and you don't know where any of them are. Like, what's that quote? Behind every blade of grass is an Irishman with a gun. Or no, is that an American saying?
It could be an American. It's certainly
not
an Irish thing. Like, there's a lot of grass in this country and very few guns.
Behind every blade of grass is a musket. Yeah.
Yeah, I would be happy with that. That's a much better situation. We don't really. We only need a standing army if we're going to go off on military adventures. And I know there's a lot of people in power who would like that. Very happy to, again, be part of the big boy club and to send Irish men over to foreign lands to die, so we can say, yes, we did our bit too. And we need a couple of, F-25s or F-22s, whatever the fuck they're called now, to patrol our skies just in case the Russians invade us. But the sad reality is, if the Russians invade, we're done. We're done for. There's nothing that can be done. They don't even need to be here. They can just send an continental missile over. And why they would do that in the first place, I don't know.
Well, the data centers, but
yeah, maybe. Yeah, but even with that, you wouldn't need to go to that trouble. You would just have people here already, and you'd probably have people who were sympathetic to them anyway, who would be happy to rock up in a truck of some description for a fee and a small house and passage out of the country, to happily get rid of the data centers. So you wouldn't have to kill half the population to do that,
No, and there was Oreshnik missiles that they go faster than anything can shoot them down, and they're very precise, like miniature nuclear bombs without the nuclear waste. It's easy.
Yeah, and
gone.
Yeah, and you wouldn't even need to go that far, because we live in the age of hybrid warfare. So all you would have to do would be to, destabilize a country, get another great ally on board, who Ireland is heavily dependent on, somebody like the United States. Have somebody who is the president of that country who's sympathetic towards Russia, or at least has the appearance of being sympathetic, and is, well, depending on how you view it, is either rational or insane. Trump seems kind of rational to what went before him. Using that as a marker, though, I'm not sure how it balances out. And then, of course, we have Europe left high and dry, and especially Ireland, because we're very dependent on. We've kind of two masters, and the saying, you can only serve one master, but we have a master in the States to serve. Without them, a good chunk of the population would be unemployed in the morning if all their multinationals went. Well, then it's bye filthy corporate tax money. And then, of course, we have our friends in the UK and Europe, who we trade with, and everybody else. It's dribs and drabs, And the way things are going, I think Europe is becoming increasingly isolated in the world. It's people aren't particularly happy with Europe and the turn it's taken, and especially around free speech and free thought, and having populations replaced. I don't know why. Like, some people don't like that kind of carry on. I don't know if you've noticed it. I've been noticing it more and more, and no matter how much propaganda they pump out, it's not making me feel any better or warmer. I don't think a war with Russia is really going to paper over the cracks. So yeah, interesting that we had this drone issue pop up into Irish space, so to speak, and the media's been pushing it a bit as well. I'm sure. Yeah,
it's constant. Didn't that happen like a month ago? Like,
it was last week. It could have been a month ago. I don't know. Like, who fucking
I'm
knows
exaggerating. Fucking literal Morgan.
Yeah. Week, month. I don't know. Yeah, it's my autism and Asperger's cocktail. They're doing a recall next week. But yeah, so that's where we're with the drones. And again, there'll be new laws put into place around drone use as well, I'm sure. So nobody will be allowed to fly a drone now at all, because it's just too dangerous. We'll have I don't know what the fuck will happen. We'll have buildings blowing up, or maybe it's just another tool that the plebs aren't allowed to have, because it gives you access to spaces where you're not supposed to be able to see. And it's also a great tool for planning, which is why the government used them, and for observations as well, because you just throw one up a couple of 100 feet in the air, and you've a view of the surrounding area for miles.
And no one knows that it's there.
Yeah, I believe that's why they built hill forts, so people could see what the fuck was happening in the event of an invasion. You want to have the higher ground, morally and physically. Yeah, so I'm sure there'll be more of this, especially with the EU presidency now as well. So we're going to be in for a busy year in 2026, because we know our Irish masters and betters, they love to impress Europeans, so they'll want to come out, firing out the gates with proposals about this, that, and the other. The thankful thing about the EU presidency is none of the proposals are binding. So we'll still have to go through the whatever voting system they have, quality majority
Yeah.
voting system.
And the commission as well, I think. Do they get the final say? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm not entirely sure how the European Union operates. I think when you reduce it down to its bare bones, it's essentially a dictatorship or a plutocracy, right? Whatever way you want
Yeah.
to fucking look at it. Yeah, so we'll have lots of fun, and of course we have Helen McEntee as our new Minister for Defence. So we're in safe hands, and we know with Helen, no matter what ministry she managed to get her hands on, she'll do whatever the fuck she's told to do. And always when there's unpopular decisions to be made, it's a Helen who seems to have no problem making them at all. And very female of her, I have to say, not to isolate our female listeners, but yeah, there's nothing like telling a woman that what she's doing is wrong to make her double down and continue to do what is in fact fucking wrong. So yeah, if you see any strange lights above in the skies, make sure you contact the Gardaí and the army, and they'll be able to do absolutely the sum of nothing to stop it. And if you do see one in the sky, don't panic. Even if it is Russians, they're only here to, cause a little bit of disruption and to keep politicians on their toes and make sure they spend a little bit more money and keep tipping away and spending money.
And that's a good thing. The sooner this unholy fucking edifice destroys itself, the happier we'll be. And they're on their way to destroying themselves right now. In fact, in the next week, they're going to use the frozen Russian assets to basically loan Zelensky, what is it, over 100 billion euro to start.
How can they manage? Isn't that like highly illegal? Isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, very fucking illegal. But they're playing this kind of rob Peter to pay Paul kind of shell game of like, well, we're not really doing this. The way it falls is the collective West decided, okay, all these Russian assets that we're holding, we're going to freeze them. Either because they belong to the Russian state or sanctioned individuals. So the majority stake is held by Belgium in their bank, international bank called Euroclear. And it's something like 150 billion or somewhere close to 200 billion euro. So the idea was, starting back in last November, so what if we use the future interest and profits off of the Russian assets as backing for a loan to give to Ukraine as reparations? And then, of course, a lot of people said, hey, hang on a minute, that's actually illegal, even though you're not touching the assets themselves. It's still not your fucking money. Belgium had a huge problem with it because, they're the ones holding the bag, the biggest bag. They don't even know how much of the other 100 or so billion is held by anyone else because nobody else is coming out and saying, I have this and I have that. So Belgium, being the ones with the most to lose, are saying, no, I'm not doing this. And then they're getting the fingers pointed at them. And they're saying, hang on a minute, we're the honest ones in this situation. What are you doing pointing your finger at me? So the last month or so, they had this great idea of, well, okay, Belgium, you don't want to be holding the bag of getting sued into oblivion. How about we all take equal legal indemnity, so when the Russians do inevitably sue you because that money is not coming back, we'll all take the brunt of it equally. And also, we'll all pitch in some money to back the loan that's being already backed by something else that's being backed by the Russian assets. Square that fucking circle. To make it less illegal, but it's still fucking illegal. So
so what's the collateral for the loan? Like, this is
the
bizarre. Like, so
the future earnings and interest off of the frozen assets, but not the assets themselves.
okay.
Does that even make fucking sense?
No, because they're thinking like, so they loan all this money to Ukraine,
Mm,
and then Ukraine magically pays it back. Great.
yeah.
And then what? That's like, when are the assets unfrozen? And then if they have to default, well, then what is it, like half of Ukraine goes to Belgium and the EU, mineral rights, their forests, their people. We already have their people. Like, so what's left? And this has
Well,
never been done, has it, in the history of
no,
the world?
not
Like, even World
the
War II, World War One, never done.
exactly as the my new favorite idol in the political world, the Prime Minister of Belgium. He's fucking funny and intelligent. Go look him up. He pointed out. He said, "Look, we've never done this before. World War One, World War Two. World War Two. People were kind of a little upset with the Germans then, but even then, we didn't touch the frozen assets of Germans or Germany. It just didn't happen." But we're doing it now. Yeah, he's not very happy with this situation at all.
Okay.
And the way it's going to turn out is, at least according to what they were saying last month, is that, when Ukraine does default, because it will, it's going to be all of us, you and me, Morgan. We're going to pay the fucking loan back to the Russians or what have you, and we're going to pay the legal fees to defend Belgium from being sued into oblivion. And on top of that, nobody's going to want to fucking put money in a fucking European bank anymore, or institution, or whatever you would call it, because like they can just decide, hey, we're just going to take your money. That money's ours now, just out of nowhere. We don't like you. I'm going to take your money.
Has Russia released a statement? Have they reacted to this, or are they just seeing how it plays out? Because
there's been a few passing statements by Medvedev. No, not Medvedev. Fucking the oh geez, what's his name? Fucking old guy, foreign ministry. But yeah, no, not nothing really, as far as I recall. It's just kind of taken for granted that like this is fucking legal. You can't do that, but it has been mentioned, as someone in the chat asks, what if the Russians do that? Well, the Belgian prime minister said, yeah, they could do that. There's loads of Western fucking assets in Russia. They can just take that shit, because now you've set the precedent that we can just steal each other's shit now.
That's international law out the window, and that's never a good thing, because then everything is on the fucking table.
No, it hasn't happened in the fucking medieval fucking history. Never mind modern history. Not on this level. Like, this is unprecedented. We're going to fucking World War III kind of stuff, right?
Who's pushing this? Is this Germany and France, I imagine, is it?
Yeah, and pretty much everyone, Ursula von der Leyen, everyone except for Belgium, because, they have something to lose. Hungary isn't happy with it. So it's got, there's a secular thing of, I think, next year it has to be decided, are we going to continue to freeze these assets? And this is why they're jumping to do this week, give this money away this week. So there's a risk now that the vote is going to be, no, we don't refreeze the assets. So what Ursula von der Leyen is going to do now is invoke emergency powers to suspend democracy. As far as democracy goes up there in the EU, she's going to turn that switch off. Oh no, sorry, you don't have a vote now. We're going to freeze the assets again.
Okay. This is happening this week, is it?
Well, no, they're planning to give 100 billion to Zelensky this week out of the Russian assets. However, it's coming in the next month or so that they're going to have to vote on this again. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, fucking typical. Ireland gets the EU presidency.
that's what I'm thinking. Here, hold this bag of shit, Paddy.
Yeah. Wow, that would make perfect sense, wouldn't it? And it's like, Michal gets in there. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? I don't know. Tell me what to do. Tell me tell me what to fucking do. Yeah, this is pretty fucking terrifying, and everything's already in place. Like every treaty's in place for the suspension of democracy in the whole of Europe, and then all responsibility falls to the Commission. And that's what the Americans are unhappy about at the moment as well, isn't it? Like they've noticed, or at least what's coming from the Americans is they've noticed that there is a huge deficit. What's that? I am the Senate. There's a huge deficit of democracy in Europe. And, coming from America, that's pretty fucking scathing, And I've seen many a European politician just trying to explain, well, you don't understand our democracy. We have a very special form of democracy here in Europe, like that. We don't have presidents in Europe. We don't have an elected president of Europe. What we do is we get the citizens of their countries to elect a parliament. And there's many different types of democracies within Europe as well. But it was Ireland, for example. So you get your citizens to elect representatives, and then whichever party gets the most votes, they represent a leader from within the party. And then we have European elections where we send a couple of people over, and then they go over to the European Parliament. And then I don't know what, there's the Commission, and what else is there in Europe? There's the European Commission, and then there's the Council, isn't there?
The Council of Europe is not in the EU, though.
Where's that?
The Council of Europe is just it's another body. It's not.
Yeah,
It
well,
is Europe. So there's the Parliament, and then there's the Commission.
Yeah.
And maybe something else. I don't know. It's all very weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, essentially, like, it shows how knowledgeable we are. Essentially, it boils down to the actual running of it. It's unelected. It's an open fucking conspiracy that, look, Europe is the most undemocratic place on the fucking planet as things stand. Like, it has all the appearance of this beautiful democracy with many layers of, like we spoke about last week in China, where, there's many inputs, but essentially it's a vanguard party at the end of the day. A very small amount of people that are actually making the real fucking decisions about the direction in which this continent is going, or this collective, this federal state, which is, for all intents and purposes, is what it fucking is. But I suppose on the upside, it may very well be the end of it, because if indeed people's bottom line is hurt by this and people start feeling the pinch financially, and then people will eventually look and go, well, if we weren't in Europe, we wouldn't be feeling this fucking pain, And like we said, America has a lot of leverage in this country as well. So, if Paddy essentially doesn't play ball with America, well, they'll just pull their companies out, or they'll make it as difficult as possible for them to make a profit. And that's really what it boils down to for any company. It's not like, oh, well, we really love Ireland and we love its people, and it has a highly educated workforce and all that normal foresight that's pumped out, and a really friendly tax regime. They'll just go. And I think that will panic a lot of people. And, there may be some fucking hardship in store for Ireland, but that may be what it actually takes.
It's required.
To get the country back in line. But what we would really need before that is we need a war, to be honest, because we'd need the men of the country to be able to, have some sort of military experience and handling guns, killing a couple of 100 people each. But then when they come back home, there's none of that kind of, moral high ground or moral nonsense. Well, I don't know if I could take a life. So if we go back to the men of 1916, they had a a world war behind them, so nobody had any qualms about what's another fucking 6 or 7 more after I've, gunned down 10 scores, if not hundreds, of Germans in the trenches. But I hope it doesn't come to that. But I have a feeling it's all coming to a head, isn't it? We've probably now like a decade into this kind of cycle of anti-democratic Europe coming to a head. This new kind of war with Russia, this Cold War almost. So where I don't know. I just maybe it's what's the fucking word I'm looking? Maybe it's cognitive dissonance. I just don't want to bring it into my mind that there could actually be another hot war in Europe. But recent history would tell us everyone thought there couldn't be a second world war, didn't they? After the first one, that was the war to end all wars, and then we had a second world war, and then the whole narrative was, well, we need a European Union because we could never go through that again, and we have to keep the reins on Germany. And I don't know if anyone's noticed, but the reins seem to have been thrown aside in Germany. They're now rearming, chomping at the bit, fucking almost running across the border with Russia to get something going again. And that would be great for our European masters, because there's nothing like a war to unify the populations of your country and a real identifiable enemy. And all of our problems would seem insignificant when it comes to some unifying event such as a hot war in Europe. And, I'm sure that many people would be happy, would actually still join up and run to defeat the enemy in Europe. And all those lovely liberal people who we take the piss off out every now and again would probably be more than happy to join up, head off to foreign lands for the adventure, like almost like a computer game. They've been brought up all their lives on computer games, playing Call of Duty, and never even got a scratch, and they bruise their thumb playing Call of Duty, and it's nice and clean. There's you don't get to feel the sting of shrapnel landing in the side of your neck or anything like that. But I sound kind of gleeful as I'm saying this, and then I'm going to say, we hope and pray that doesn't happen. Yeah, I'm kind of depressed now. Like, I was looking forward to Christmas. Now I'm fucking a new hot war to contend with. Yeah, but I can't believe they would be so foolish
to bring us into that situation.
To bring us into like this confiscate, hundreds of billions of Russian assets, and to think, what it will all be hunky dory. The Russians won't react, and then when they do react, what are they going to go? Oh my God, I can't believe these Russians are reacting like we've taken 100 billion euros of theirs. It's like stealing your next door neighbor's house and then expecting them to, not be upset. Not be upset in the tiniest way.
Well, you've seen it on the national level here, how.
Sorry for a second.
Yeah.
All right. I'm putting a fucking sign on the door saying on air.
Yeah, we'll get you one of the real like light up ones that you plug in on the other side of the door. How our politicians and civil service, they live without notions of things like consequence. They don't see how A leads to B leads to C. They're just kind of functioning, and that's true all the way up to the top. These people, they have no idea of consequences. I don't know if you know this European leader, Kaja Kallas, I think from Latvia or something. A complete fucking bimbo, but she was appointed as like basically the foreign minister of the EU.
I do. Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
And she comes out with wild fucking incorrect statements like Russia has invaded 93 of its neighbors since 2016 or something like this, and then this is what we have, and nobody seems to care. Nobody's pointed out, hey, this woman is a fucking potato. Get rid of her because she's making things very dangerous just by opening her mouth. Luckily, the politician, the Russians don't actually take her that seriously. The foreign minister of Russia said, "Yeah, it's clear that she's not a straight A student," and that means that they don't really listen to her or take anything she says seriously. So I guess they're right. There is no consequences for what they're doing.
Yeah, again, it leads me to believe that these people are nothing more than puppets. And we've all been trained in Europe that, you can't criticize a woman, God forbid. Like, so you can't say what this woman is saying is absolute fucking, it's insanity, because then it gets shoved down to people's throats. Well, you can't say that about a woman. You're a misogynist, But beyond that, you see, I kind of fall between the two. It's like, okay, these people are in fact idiots. I can't bring myself to fully accept, okay, well, these are, Machiavellian geniuses. But I think there's some comfort in thinking that there is this kind of shadowy elite who are managing everything. Like, so, all these wars are managed and the outcomes are known in advance, because that's kind of comforting, isn't it? But even if it's dark, it's comforting to know that there's somebody in the background, almost like a godlike figure, that's, masterminding the whole of humanity in the shadowy backgrounds. But I think it's more terrifying to accept the fact that we are indeed ruled by fucking idiots who have no idea what they are actually doing. Pretty much like us if we got into power, But I think we'd be, intelligent and wise enough to after a day, once the adrenaline wore off, we'd turn around and say, listen, I don't have a fucking clue what I'm doing. So the best thing we could probably do is nothing. Try to make as few changes as possible and just let the system run. But these people seem to actually get there and go off on these fucking grand adventures. Like, but who comes up with, okay, well, we've no money. What we do? Okay, let's rob the Russians' money. Like, this is the thinking of two fucking heroin addicts. Let's be honest. It's like, like those guys in Carlo who went to the post office with their dead fucking father, It's like, what we do for a few quid, I'm starving and, I need a bit of gear. Well, let's, fucking dad died last night, so let's wheel him up to the post office in the wheelchair and get his money. They'll never know.
It's the same fucking thing. It's just two different classes of people.
Yeah. So instead of, robbing fucking 200 quid, it's like 100 billion. I still can't believe it. It beggars fucking belief. And there's no way to get rid of these people. It's incredible, isn't it? Like, it's fucking, it's beyond the joke that you just can't get rid of them. But they may do us a favor and actually get rid of them
themselves,
like, hopefully. And thankfully, we are isolated. We are, on the far reaches of Europe. So we could probably sail it out. If the government collapsed, now probably, a good chunk of us would probably die, and then I say another chunk would, scatter to the four winds. And then you'd have all the refugees jumping up. Oh, but you said you weren't, no one was allowed, no one was welcome here, and now you're all fucking off for your safety. And we just go, fuck you. So say I'm going to need time to digest it, because it's pretty fucking terrifying. And there's been so many times where we're close to another hot war and it doesn't transpire. And I'm thinking the more likely outcome is probably going to be a slow, gradual grind into absolute fucking poverty and tyranny within Europe, and then the populations themselves will pull the countries apart. But there's so many factors now that are pressurizing Europe, and you can't just say, "Oh well, it's the Russians." It's I'm sure it's part of it, but it's being essentially pulled down from within.
Actually, you know what, right? About this vote, right? Unfreeze the assets, lift the sanctions. I forget who in Europe said it. They said, no, we can't lift the sanctions because that will hurt the European economy. When, the whole idea was to hurt the Russian economy by, introducing the sanctions. But it turns out their economy is stronger and ours is weaker now. And it will be even weaker if we lift the sanctions. It's self-inflicted, man.
Yeah, and Russia is one of the few. Well, granted, Russia, you can't really call it a country. It's a fucking It's a continent, for Christ's sake, the size of the place. But they're actually self-sufficient. So even if everything does go to shit, they have the ability to survive. You know, the standard of living might get worse for a lot of people, but they're not going to go fucking hungry. You know, the lights aren't going to go off. They ain't going to freeze to death because within their own country, they have the resources to look after themselves. If Europe collapses, you know, we're pretty much fucked.
Yeah, those windmills aren't keeping us warm, man.
They ain't keeping us warm. If we're cut off from trade with the rest of the world, we're fucked too, because we don't produce enough food to actually feed ourselves. You know, there's not enough produce being produced, so it might be going back to the days of keeping a pig in the kitchen, and eating a few fucking spuds. You know, but I don't know. I find it hard to swallow, because I can't really believe that our leaders would be that fucking stupid. Overall, I can understand why they would hitch their wagon to Europe, because they essentially they don't have to think, they don't have to act in a national interest, because we're part of this, you know, superstructure where everything is handed on a plate for them. You know, you just hitch your wagon to Europe, and then it's safe. And in that respect, they are doing a good job in terms of, you know, looking after the country's finances. Now, I know people will probably fucking hang me from a lamppost. Well, we can't, you know, most people can't afford a house. People are struggling with the lights on and whatever. But let's not pretend that if that ended tomorrow, we would be in a sticky situation. And that's fine for, say, the likes of me, the likes of anyone who's had to kind of struggle in their life and knows what it is to have fucking little or nothing, because you get by. But for a lot of people who've had a higher standard of living throughout their life, and especially the middle classes, and people who've no real understanding of what it is to struggle, what it is to, you know, miss a meal or not get, you know, the presents you like for Christmas, or for, you know, people have to hide behind the window when men looking for bills to be paid have to come to the door, you know. They've no experience of that, and it'll be very fucking difficult. And when push comes to shove, I think that's really what's going to move people, is their own well-being and financial interests. But to get that across to people that, you know, well, we may have to suffer for 5 or 10 years for long-term well-being, it's a very fucking hard sell. But we mightn't have to sell it at all, because it's not within, it's not within our power to change it. Let's be honest. We're essentially bystanders when it comes to that.
You don't build a system that is this complex and this incompetently run for this length of time and expect nothing to happen of consequence. You know, we are going to suffer because of what others have done. Yes.
Oh, yeah. But like I said, it may need to come to this, and we may need to be more self-sufficient in many fucking ways, because when the shit does hit the fan, I know, like, unless I take some serious drastic action, I'd probably starve within 2 or 3 weeks, if it got really bad, where, you know, you have to look after your own needs, like food, where you just simply can't go to the local supermarket. If the power goes out, you know, I don't even have a fucking generator as backup power, so it would be all out disaster. So I might find myself eating the dogs in 2 or 3 weeks, you know. And you would. People think they would never go to such measures. Like, you know, you get hungry enough, that fucking dog, that pet that you love so much, is looking pretty fucking tasty.
Oh my God, that reminds me of a story. I was listening to ASMR historian about an uprising in China against foreign influence. Like, all the Western countries were setting up trade companies and shit and spreading Christianity in China, and they got really upset about that. And there was war, basically, and there was one of these trade company cities. They were basically under siege for weeks. And it was just, you know, everyone from all around the world, including Chinese Christian converts, and then also a princess, a Chinese princess. So they killed her little dog and put it in the stew pot because they ran out of food. Like poor fucking woman and poor dog.
Yeah,
know?
well,
Yeah.
yeah. So
It
it may have
happens,
actually been better to keep pigs. We should have had pets like little potbelly pigs running around. But you'd still, you'd love the little potbelly pig as much as you'd love the cat or the dog. Someone saying, when were pigs emancipated
from the kitchen.
from the kitchen? Yeah, I'm not sure. I know there was always an English stereotype about Irish people that everyone had a pig in the kitchen, but I think historically it was used to pay the rent, so you didn't even get to eat the pig. So people would keep a pig all year round, then feed it on scraps. Then when it came around to pay the annual rent, you would sell the pig to the butcher.
Because we weren't allowed real food.
Yeah, you couldn't afford it. Like, it's like, fuck
Yeah.
that. It's the rent you're looking at there. You ain't eating the rent. And it's not like we can get away with it. There was no, residential tenancies board to go to. Back then, it was like, 6 guys and horses show up at the fucking house. And if you don't leave, they're burning you out of the house, so you're leaving one way.
Jesus Christ.
You're leaving one way. That's what it was.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And it would soon get back to that, like, especially if people before profit ever get into government,
Jesus.
they might get a hold of the landlords first. And that always works out well, doesn't it? When you get rid of a certain class of people, be they landlords or farmers, all those greedy people who just won't give stuff to the many, like so, because it's natural, I could farm 100 acres in the morning, like, sure, it's easy, isn't it? You just get in the tractor, drive around for a bit, and then the food magically uproots itself in the ground, marches into the factories, and then everybody's happy. What are we looking at here?
But by the way, that's the attitude that caused mass starvation in the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
So I was following the wind patterns of yesterday, right? And just this mass over here caught my eye, and I was like, "What the fuck? Oh yeah, that's Siberia, dude. It's like minus 41 degrees Celsius in Siberia. That's fucked."
Yeah, that's shocking.
Yeah.
And people live there, don't they?
Is some people, yeah, they do actually live there. Yeah, it's crazy. However, in the spring and summer months, it's actually beautiful. It's all green and things are growing and there's rivers and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And deep freeze.
Yeah, it's nice in the summer, not so hot in the winter. Yeah, so I don't know if we have this war. Well, it might solve our fucking visitor problem, so it's not like a war to spook people and then go, okay, well, you know what?
I've been thinking that for a while. Yeah, we need to. If it just becomes really intolerable here, the only people who'll stay here are the people who love it.
Yeah, pretty much, because especially if you're an economic migrant, it's like, well, the economic future here it's no longer viable. So let's go, like, and especially if your life is on the line, it's like, well, fuck this, I'm going back to Nigeria, Chad, Brazil, wherever, India, whatever the fuck part of the world it is. So that might be of some benefit. I know people get very upset, well, we'll keep the nurses and the doctors, but no, they'll go first because they can. And so with that in mind, Ibun Joseph came across my radar again. Lovely Ibun, how we love and adore you. So her live, I didn't know her podcast was live. We must give it a visit when it's live. I only found out today, and they take questions from the live audience. So yeah, so next time we might throw ourselves. We have to be careful because we don't want to frame it in such a way that they won't ask the question, but they do indeed take questions from the audience. So I had a little look at the latest version of her podcast, and we'll have a look at that in a minute. But it also caught my eye because funding for the Yellow Flag program in Ireland has also been renewed this year. I wasn't aware of it. I knew the government had their Green Flag policy, which is around environmentalism. And I think all these programs, they started in the Educate Together schools, and now they've, like a virus, they've escaped containment and are now running rife to all national schools in Ireland. So we have the Yellow Flag program, which is around inclusion, diversity, and equity. So essentially, they'll be training the children in critical race theory. What is that?
That's a guide.
of Ebon. What's this? Oh, the yellow flag. Oh my god,
Yeah.
that just says it fucking
Yeah,
all.
and it gets worse, man. It gets worse. Hold on. Here we go. What the fuck is that, man?
Yeah, that's a yellow person.
Oh my god, and it does look like what are they called? Kenji? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Johnless, the Johnless program.
Just.
Fucking hell. Yeah, so we'll have to the kids will have to go through this nonsense of critical race theory and unconscious bias around racism.
Mm.
And then I remembered back to my time working in those circles, and one of the trainings we went through, and they gave us this kind of visual quiz to see if indeed you had any sort of unconscious bias. So you can imagine like it's typical office building, and then they bring out the projector. You all right there?
Thought I heard something outside, but I wouldn't be able to know because I have headphones on. Sorry.
All right, the Russians are coming. They picked up your signal. They're coming to take you away. Like
To rescue me. That's
yeah,
brilliant.
yeah. Data centers, you say? Like we'll have a drone outside for you in 20 minutes. Yeah, so you're in the room and there's like fucking 10, 15 people, and then they bring in the trainer, they set up the projection screen, and then they flash these images on the screen, and then there's a word with missing letters underneath, and you have to look at the image and then look at the wording, and then you say out loud the first thing that comes to your mind. And so part of my role in one of these companies was I would help the people set up in advance, and so I had a look at the laptop that I forgot to get back. Let's put it that way. And some of the files were still on it. So do you want to play the quiz? Do you want to do it? See how you get on. Like, so it's only 5 images, like, so, and maybe people in the chat can play along as well. So you look at the image, there's a word with letters blanked out, and then you've kind of tried to take the 2 in at the same time, but you have to be honest and say the first thing that actually came to your mind when you see both. Okay.
That's tough.
I know, right? It's almost like it's a stacked game, but it is tough because for me anyway, I'm going to look at the image first, and then but we'll see anyway.
Yeah.
Let me drag a file up here if I can find the things that make sure I actually transfer them from one to the other. All right, you hanging in there?
Just getting used to this new sleeping pattern. By the way, I'm becoming a medieval sleeper now. I will go to bed at like 10, 11, and then I wake up at 1 or 2 and kind of just, put on a podcast or something and kind of chill out for 20 minutes and then go back to sleep and wake up at 6. That's how they used to sleep back in the olden days.
All right, good stuff. There's someone saying, Ebon into your house. She's looking for that Ribena.
That's racist.
The Ribena vampire, Ebon Joseph. Right, let's see. Share screen. Okay, so we've got 5 of these images. So the first one will come up now. So
okay,
ready?
I don't see a screen. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Oh, for fuck. Nagger.
Burger.
Oh,
Buorger. Jesus.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I was going for the South Park one where he has the last 2 letters, which is
you have to concentrate now. I know
someone who annoys you.
No. Burger. So you have to concentrate. So remember image.
All right.
With words.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So that was go one. So now you're used to someone said pigger. Oh, their education got it right. Burger.
All right.
So you have to keep an eye on the chat to make sure people aren't cheating. There we go. Burger. So that's who's in the lead there. So that's education is in the lead. Chose your name very well, I have to say. It suits you. Okay, let me see. Image number 2. I have to find a better way to get these fucking images on screen, I have to say. I'm sure there is. It's just I've reached my boomer years, have I? All right. You got to move us out of the way there, like
Yeah. Right. Digger.
Yes, well done. Well
Oh,
done.
yay! I got one.
Well
I'm
done.
not so bad after all.
No, but was that what you thought first? Was that your first thought?
No.
No. Okay. Okay, this one might be trickier now, like so.
All right.
Oh, what's going on there? Oh, there we go. Hang on.
Oh no! What
Oh,
are
no,
you
that's
doing?
it.
We're gone now. What did you do?
I don't know. They're
All
all
right,
back
here
there
we go.
now. How do I get rid of that one? Like, what's going on with the one at the
Hang
top?
on, I'll get rid of it for you. There we go.
There we go.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just seeing. I'm just seeing the same word. Well,
Anybody?
obviously, rigger, right?
Rigger. There you go.
Is that what they called them?
Yeah, an oil rigger. Yeah, yeah, a
Oh,
rigger. Yeah.
all right.
And then when they get oil on them, they're called dirty riggers. Digger, oil rigger. There we go. And education is fucking killing it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's to be said.
Yeah, the purest amongst us.
All
We
right.
should buy him a ticket to next Eben Joseph live podcast.
I think what we have to do with Ebon is we have to hire her. And we'll get a group of 10 of us.
Mm.
We'll hire some community hall, and then we can get her in to give us some critical race training. Or I think that would be great. That'd be great fun. Like that'd be a Christmas party I would happily fucking go to, I have to say. Right, we've got 2 left. Okay, we share the screen on this one. Okay.
Yeah. Fuck it. I'm sorry. I still see the N word. What?
Anybody? Like this one is they get trickier. Like okay, we'll have a 10-second countdown. 10. Say what you say. Say what you say. Like.
I don't know. I don't know basketball.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. Each there's one of these on each person you see there. Knackers? No, not knackers. Not knackers.
Oh, fuck's sake!
No.
No, they're not. They're not trans women.
Yeah.
Numbers.
Numbers. See, there's just number 42, number 9,
Oh,
number 3, and number 22. That was a difficult one, though. Like,
it was. Yeah.
yeah, it was
It's unfair. Some might say.
yeah, but that's what I was thinking during the like. I was in terrible trouble during this training session. I have to say, like, I couldn't help myself. Like as soon as I saw the burger, I was like, people were shocked. Like, okay, got one more. There we go. There.
Well, that's finger, obviously.
Yeah.
What else would that be?
Yeah. And yeah, whoever put these slides together actually got that wrong, because that wouldn't say.
Yeah, no.
Like that N shouldn't be there at all. That N should be a G. Like,
unless
that should be a star. Like that should be X'd out. Like something.
Unless dinger is a slur for black people.
Yeah, I don't know. Like what were you thinking about all along? Like, were you thinking of some sort of racial slur towards melanated people? Like, I'm shocked. I'm fucking absolutely shocked. Okay, so that's the kind of stuff that was happening 10 years ago in these kind of training sessions. So we'll have a look at Ebon now. Hang on, I'll have to find a fucking video.
God help us all.
I know. So you all might want to strap yourself in. I didn't watch a lot of it.
If you have them.
Yeah, I did watch it a little bit earlier on, and I have to say, I was fucking furious.
Actually, you know what? Just fucking sniff that Xanax, just smash it up, and wait, I can't say that. Oh, no, that was a joke.
There you go. I think can you say it, or you can't advocate for it in any way, shape, or form?
No. I mean, like, it should be understood that that's a joke, Yeah. So, just in case, YouTube, we're talking about someone who's so insufferable, you would actually have to induce brain damage on yourself in order to put up with them. That was my point. It was a joke. Thank you.
Okay, just bear with me a second. I just need to get these timestamps up here. I had everything set up, but then the camera crapped out, so I had to reboot. Okay.
Yeah, we need a producer, someone who just comes to our individual houses, sets us all up, and so that we just need to press the button and then we're live.
Yeah, no problem at all. It should be very easy. Right, I need to share the screen now for YouTube. There has to be an easier way to do this. Well, there is. It's been a very busy week, you know.
Yeah, maybe, stop buying fucking mahogany furniture and buy a screen, a second screen.
But I'm trying to save the planet here. Like, and plus, I need somewhere to put my clothes. You know?
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
I know she's fucking dire looking. Like
oh, jeez. I mean, like a ghoul.
Mm. Oh my god! Could I pull up on the seeking? That'll make it easier. Else you get the timestamp.
No.
Oh, good god! Right, fuck.
Remember, you can to go back and forth 5 seconds. You can use the arrow keys on your keyboard.
Yeah, even with that, like it always goes 5 to Benny or no. That's anyway. We'll get through it. Right. So we've got like 5 timestamps, so we won't spend an awful long time on it.
All right. Well, that's good.
Yeah, I know, but it's going to be difficult to get through. So we'll start with Ebon. Let's see what she has to say. Anyway.
Yeah.
Advocate for migrant rights and social justice. So thank you so much for being here, this evening, and you're welcome. So it's a brave conversation we're having tonight, isn't it? So this brave conversation, we're going to be asking the question: there is no racism in Ireland. There is no racism.
Can we hear that? Okay. Seems right
yeah.
at my end.
Oh, Jesus! Well, I was turning it up on this end, but you need to turn it up. Turn it up. Yeah.
Yeah. So the question is, well, I can't even remember the question. That's probably the perfect face for there. It just looks like a big, dirty arsehole. This guy here, this is a People Before Profit councillor.
I remember him.
Yeah, so he's had a haircut in the meantime.
Oh.
He did speak during this. I refused to play it because, not because I don't like him. He had nothing to say, essentially. He didn't answer any question. He just rambled on for fucking 10, 20 minutes at a time.
He's not very bright, yeah.
No, was playing with his phone the whole fucking time. Like, just never got off his phone. This guy is the DEI manager for University Galway.
Okay. Wow.
Traveller.
Like Down syndrome travelers can be CEOs. That's great.
Yeah.
We're really in the future now.
I know, right? I think he may well be homosexual. That was the impression I got. Why else would he be here? And that's perfect, isn't it? Like a gay traveler. It's like, oh my God, talk about social capital. We know Ebon here.
All right.
This woman whose name escapes me, I don't really want to know what her name is, but she is a disability advocate. And this fat black lad over here is a migrants' right advocate who came here as a refugee, spent 20 years in direct provision, and looks like he ate all the fucking food there as well. So we will hear from obviously a bun. I think we'll hear a little bit from John Joe Ward over here, whatever his name is, and we'll hear from these two people as well.
In Ireland, when you hear that, what do you think? Anybody can go. Anybody can start.
I'll go first. I think it's when I saw the topic, I was like, yeah, this is something that is thrown out a lot. And I always ask the question myself, why do people say this? When I hear the question being asked, and the one thing that I realized is that people actually, they're afraid. And there's one thing that I realized, that people actually know that when they recognize that racism exists, it's also a recognition that inequalities exist, and that there's some people that benefit from inequalities, and they do so unintentionally. So they have to deal with that fact, that once they realize that they are benefiting from racism. So it's
have you benefited from racism?
No, and I've insisted that I don't for years, but like he has actually broken me. I know it doesn't sound like much, but you know the saying, the straw that breaks the camel's back. Well, he's my fucking straw. You know what? Yes, I do benefit from racism. I don't know how. Neither do you. But I'll take that one. Yeah, and I'll be proud of it too.
Yeah. I don't know how I've benefited from racism. If anything, it's been a net loss, really. I never wanted to think about racism. I never wanted to have it come up in general conversations, for it to be in work about, or having meetings in work about it. I used to like to look at it as something that was far away, that was all the way over in America and confined there back in the fucking 1700s. And it's same for while they were making progress dealing with their racism problem. Never in my fucking darkest hour did I think that it would be a problem for Irish people, where we'd have to start talking and worrying about racism and listening to people like this tell us how racist we are. And especially with someone whose ears aren't in the right location. Like, I've never seen somebody with ears on their neck. Like, what is that about? Is that just because of the fattening? Is it that his head got so fat that his fucking ears, it's like when you stretch one of those rubber balls, everything just gets out of proportion. What is going on? Are they even real ears? They're a different color than his face. Like, he's had an ear transplant or something like that. It's fucking weird.
Easy to have that defensive statement to say there's no racism in Ireland, because the moment you recognize that racism exists, then you're asking yourself, what am I benefiting from by saying this?
No, that never happens with me. I just, one, I never said racism doesn't exist in Ireland, but I'm never sure what these people actually fucking mean, because there's it evolves every week, doesn't it? What it is to be racist, or what racism is. It's like one week it's structural racism, the next week it's somebody asked you, like, where are you from? That's racist. Then there's the traditional understanding of racist is, I treat you and your kind solely based on the color of your skin, and therefore you could never have a job, you have no freedoms, you must work on a plantation. That was my understanding of racism growing up. Much like rape, it was very clearly defined. It was like, this is rape, this is racism, and there was no kind of ambiguity about it. But modern racism is anything from, listen, I'm not getting my way with something, and because you're not letting me have my way, therefore you are racist. And then when people come to their senses, go, okay, well, yeah, maybe there are instances of racism where there's some people who just want nothing to do with black people. But when people realize that, they don't just go, oh my God, I've just come to that. Now I'm complicit and I must address my complicity in. No, it's like, oh yeah, right, fair enough. Anyway, when are you going? When are you leaving? Or could you kindly shut the fuck up? Be thankful that you're no longer in the place that you have to run away from screaming. And be thankful of the country you're in, and just stop fucking whinging every minute of the day about how terrible it is for you sitting in a lovely warm environment being interviewed by Ebon, who's on 100 grand a year for this fucking nonsense.
Yeah, and so is he, by the way. He's on our dime too. Before you click play there, I'm going to say, it was far away. Racism was far away. And, sure, okay, it happened every now and then in Ireland, right? Back then, I had sympathy for the plight of non-white people all around the world. And, I still acknowledge that, shit happens to people all over the world. I'm not saying that's not a thing anymore. I'm not one of these people who say, oh, everything that happens to the non-whites is completely their fault and we deserve to do all these bad things to them. No, not at all. However, it's gotten to the point now where I've just been browbeaten to the point where I don't fucking care.
Yeah, that's it. That's the problem with all of this. It's like it destroys everything. Like any ounce of sympathy
and
or empathy you've had for people. It's like, no, I'm sorry now. You've ruined. I don't care if there's people dancing on your head in the streets. Just go. You've over-egged it. So please leave the building immediately.
There is a benefit for those who actually say it. So they're benefiting because they don't want to recognize that inequalities exist in Ireland.
Okay. So there are some people that benefit from racism, and there's an academic argument that says that, and I think maybe if we look at it that, if people were not benefiting from it, oh, come on, it would have stopped by now, isn't it? It would have ended by now. There'll be no pushback. There'll be no, anyone else,
Yeah. So
The people that we constantly annoy wouldn't be complaining to us if there wasn't a problem. Your standard fucking cult logic here, folks.
like the blindness on Ebon's half is astounding. Like, so she's saying that if it wasn't still a problem, it wouldn't exist. And there's obviously people still benefiting from racism. Yes, I can see one right here in the middle of the fucking screen. I can see someone who's benefiting enormously from racism. Actually, I can see 5 people on the panel who are benefiting from racism. Without it, he wouldn't have a fucking job. This guy on the end might have a job, but he certainly wouldn't be in the position he's in, because I can guarantee you he's only in people before profit because of the color of his skin. It's like, oh, well, we haven't got one of them. Let's get one of them in. That would look fucking fantastic. Ebon minted because of racism. She can't let it go. She sees it in fucking Ribena drinks, for Christ's sake. She looks out the window and goes, well, why is the night black? Surely that's some sort of racism. The day should be black too. And this woman, again, she benefits from disability and racism. And of course, fat lad on the end here, again, is in employment purely because of racism. So if it was to go away, none of these people have jobs anymore. There's no more racism. What do we need Ebon for? I'm sure she'd tell us, and as they do tell us, that not only is it still a problem, but it will always be a problem. It's perfect because it can never be solved, because it's innate in what? Whiteness. So the only way truly to get rid of racism would be to get rid of its proximate cause, because it only exists in whiteness. Therefore, we must get rid of whiteness. And then we have people like this and like this.
Token whites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As allies in their own, and especially this guy. Like,
Penitents. That's what they are. This is like an inversion, abomination of Christianity, original sin. All white people are just inherently racist, and you'll never get rid of original sin. You just have to acknowledge that you are a sinner and that you have a savior who, actively all throughout your life is redeeming you. And in this cult, it's black people. So you just have to show up at these events and repent of your whiteness on a constant basis so that you remain pure.
yeah.
And then what? No afterlife. No, there's no promises. There's nothing at the end of this rainbow, folks.
Yeah, not a fucking thing. And the great thing about it, the more cult-like behavior, is that the leader and the inner circle don't actually do any of the work, because Ebon repeatedly says during her seminars and her talks that it's not on immigrants and people of color to solve this problem of racism. It's on Whitey. So Whitey has to do all the work, and especially people like him. Remember, she said it the last time we looked at her as well, that she can't be in every space, that it's incumbent upon allies to speak up and do the work. And we've seen it in, Black Lives Matter protest as well, where, Whitey gets shoved to the front of the crowd to take the punches and bruises and rubber bullets and pepper spray on behalf of, almost as a form of reparations for past wrongs committed against people of color in the past. Right, we'll move on to 11 minutes or so. There we have this guy yapping away. So this is where Ebon is going to tell us about categories. So categories are the problem with racism. If we got rid of... I know, right? I know. It will make sense, I promise you.
Okay.
We've seen all the new policies that are going out, about migration, and all of those things, and And, and one of the things you talked about, and I write about it as well, is, that when we categorize people, so categories are actually used to dehumanize people. So when I've created a category, then you're no longer a person, you're a title, you're a thing, so we
Hang on a
can,
minute.
yes, we can do anything.
Hang on a minute. No, that couldn't be. No, never mind. No, I was thinking for a moment and it began to hurt, so I stopped.
All right. No, don't stop. Like, continue in the process. Yeah.
So, like, it's bad to categorize people because you're tying them to certain roles that they can't escape, and it reinforces the categorization because you categorize them, and then they have to categorize you because there's no one without the other. Am I talking shit here?
No, because you see, it makes some level of sense. Like, I think what you're trying to say is that you can't categorize all people as
What?
the N word, or because then you dehumanize them.
Right.
But where Ebon is different, Ebon will spread it out to everything. So then you can't categorize people as black, but then you can't categorize people as women. You can't categorize people as men. You can't categorize, forms of transport as cars. You can't, categorize food.
But you can categorize certain people as white.
Only white. That's it.
That's the only category that can exist. Yes.
Yeah. So in the future, you'll only be able to categorize white, and everyone else will just be, walking around essentially dying immediately because, it's like, you'll see a child walk across the road and you say, watch out for the boom, or somebody's fucking starving and they walk into a shop. Hello, could I have some? And then, they'll never get fed because food is a category. So if we only get rid of this, like, how the fuck do these people manage to wrangle 100 grand out of somebody with this shit? And it has to be because they're talking to people like the guy to her left and the fat chick to her right. Like, she just waltzes in, spouts all this horseshit, and whatever white idiot they're speaking to is racked with guilt because in their mind they're thinking, oh my God, what the fuck is this doing in here? But I can't say that out loud. I can't say, listen, you're talking absolute shit, and I like, just get the fuck out of my space. They can't say that because then she'll run to the media and that person will be destroyed. That's all I can think, because I can't imagine how somebody could just sit there in good faith and all honesty, listen to her and go, oh yeah, well, beyond the guilt, what you're saying makes no fucking sense to me, or anyone for that matter, once you scratch the surface.
We don't see the person, because if we saw the person behind this group called migrants, unvetted males, or dangerous males, or asylum seekers, international.
Yeah, how about rapists, or it might be good to keep some categories, because if you do away with categories altogether, it's leaving ourselves open to dangers, especially where there's a correlation between, certain groups. So if it's like unvetted men, or, men with machine guns on the rampage have been proven to be dangerous, Ebon. There's people invading on boats, Vikings. Let's not categorize them. They're not all bad, like, fucking, I can't think of any Viking names. Sven over there, like, is great at embroidery, and I do believe he's in a bi-curious relationship. So they're not all bad. So let's not categorize the Vikings, or the Muslims, or the Africans, or the unvetted males, or the migrants, or the rapists, or you name your category. Look at this guy, lost. What is he thinking about? It's like
the napkin in front of him.
Yeah, he just wants to go home, doesn't he? Like, he'd rather be anywhere fucking else. He's thinking, what the fuck did I come here for?
Whatever name, Global South, or if we saw them as people, then the policies, the things we are putting, in place, we will stop. But when we put a category in place, then it gives us the freedom, to treat it. You say, oh, that's a chair, so you can do stuff to it. It's a chair.
What the fuck are you talking about, you mumbling maniac?
That's a chair. How dare you categorize as a chair? Because, just sit down on the wooden implement. What, the pencil? Don't say that fucking word in here. Like, we don't categorize things in this household. But I've heard them use this chair analogy before, because that's it's the kind of that undergraduate welcome to philosophy.
Ah,
lecture.
yes, the first fucking class. Yeah.
Yeah, like what's that over there? That's a chair.
No, you're wrong.
What is a chair? Well, it has it's made out of wood. Yes, but this 17th or 18th century mahogany chest is also made of wood. Therefore, is that a chair? No. Well, it has 4 legs, but a horse has 4 legs. Is a horse a chair? It's like, shut the fuck up. You know what it is. We're not doing this shit. Everyone knows what a fucking chair is. Like, so everyone knows what a fucking unvetted male is and what it represents. If we do away with categorization and strip everything down to just a subjective experience, well, he was, I swear to God, like, if I ever meet this woman, if I recognize her, because she changes her hair every fucking week by the looks of it as well, so I probably wouldn't know her on the street, but I'd have a conversation with her. Let's put it that way, so I don't get in trouble or arrested. All right, I'm not sure if we need to go further with this one. There we go, 15 minutes. Okay.
All right.
So 15 minutes in. Okay, where are you? I know it's
There
painful.
we go.
Here, I'll do.
Actually struggle to belong. Enforcement. So we've gone from protection to enforcement.
Absolutely.
And
I agree with you
so
then.
that issue of belonging is not going to be an issue.
Are
anymore.
you
When
distracted by the
people
retard
belong-
on the end of the table? Are you?
Constantly.
Yeah.
He's a vision. He's an absolute vision, man.
I'm calling him Sideshow Dove.
That's
his name.
No.
because there's an accent. But I might come to you, and ask, like, is racism an import? So is it American? Like,
Oh, dude, we've had the same fucking conversation last episode. It's the same shit over and over again. They say nothing new at all.
I know, but look at that face as well. Like, so that just says, like, is it an import? Come on, Alan. It's not. But as she keeps going on about these, they have to have these conversations, like, because we can't have these conversations in the dark. Otherwise, nothing ever gets dealt with, nothing ever gets solved. But you can't keep having these conversations if she actually wants to solve it with the same fucking people from the same handful of NGOs who all tend to think exactly like her. So she needs to spicing up the dais here, like get a couple of people on who don't agree with you, Ebon. And then it might get interesting. And, you might actually change some people's minds, or have your own mind changed.
oh, Ibon, she's reading critical race theory. That is it. So is it an import, or do we have our older forms of racialization in Ireland?
Yeah, so I think I just touched on that a few minutes ago. It's definitely not an import. I believe that it's always been ingrained in our society.
He's so uncomfortable.
I think he's autistic.
I think he might be, the poor fella. That's what he needs to campaign for, is autistic people like himself. Because you know what? Those people are actually fucking suffering, okay?
Yeah, and look at this guy, like.
Yeah, he's straight from the Halton site, like.
Yeah, I know, like that. I don't know what that is. That's like arse porn or something. That's from eating out asses all the time, isn't it? Like,
Or a fungus.
yeah, it's at his first bath.
I know, and there's an evidence base to back this up. With the traveller.
Oh my God, he's
community,
gay
the oppression, the
too.
racism
Yeah,
that
I told you.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. All the disabilities. Gay, traveller.
they've experienced over the years,
Horrendous.
and I mean, like, hundreds of years.
Absolutely.
You could nearly go back.
Yeah.
In one way, that has nearly.
God, I
affected
hate
the
that
number-
cunt there going, yeah, you're on a fucking podcast. Shut your fucking mouth. Let the guy speak.
She's what's she doing? She's acknowledging his hurt and suffering. That's very important in these circles, is to honor the person speaking for their hurt and
Right, by talking over them.
yes, exactly.
Making it harder for other people to hear them.
Making it about her.
And then we would have had sprinkles kind of other diversity coming in. So by the time, and
Make up Sideshow, for fuck's sake! Like, come on, man, pay attention.
it continues to exist, and it's very, very strong and very, very socially acceptable. but with the increase in diversity since the year 2000 or so on, you know, the last 2 or 3 decades, it has just enhanced because the model was there, you know. So for me, I firmly believe that.
I know with the traveller community, and I don't want to trigger any, feelings from yourself that you might.
Oh my God, the way she's going as well. It's like, oh, I'm so small. I'm so pathetic. Please
Yeah.
don't ever say anything bad to me. I might shatter.
Am I allowed to say traveller? Can I call it a T word? It's very uncomfortable when you even say traveller. This fucker's so uncomfortable. Look at him. He's self-soothing. He's hugging himself. He's going to start
Yeah.
walking now in a moment. Like,
You know what? We really need to give them some tips on like how to make that more comfortable, because you know what? It's like being in a pub. You know, you're sitting at the bar, except he's not drunk, so it's uncomfortable. You can't sit on those things, man.
yeah, so maybe that's what he needs. He needs to be made more comfortable. So I don't know what. Give him an Xbox. Super value outside, or he can just walk in and steal stuff from, and then come back in in his own time.
Find difficult. But I worked in hospitality.
I think maybe he's stoned or something. He could have had a quick
Yeah.
before he went in, like, and he's just horribly distracted and then lost in his own mind. He's like, fuck.
Yeah, he could be thinking, I feel like I'm dying, man. What the
Yeah.
fuck is going on?
Yeah, am I sweating? Like, I don't want to make it obvious, like, but it feels like there's fucking sweat beads rolling down my forehead as I speak. Like, let me just like, rock myself back to fucking sanity here.
Don't ask me
For an-
questions. Please don't ask me any questions.
If I don't look at them, they won't ask me a question.
number of years, and it's horrendous. The discrimination, and it's we've got the Equality Acts now, and it's up to each and every one of us to use them and to try and highlight the inequalities for all of us. You know, disabled, black people.
So I think for them to
brown
work,
Just say black people, like she almost couldn't get it out. Like,
Yeah. I think she was going through in her head, what's the right word for them again?
yeah, black people.
The discrimination, and it's we've got the Equality Acts now, and it's up to each and every one of us to use them and to try and highlight the inequalities for all of us. You know, disabled, black people.
so I think for
brown
them to
people.
work, I think what's very important is to have an honest conversation,
Yeah,
honest
exactly.
trust, and have trust in public institutions, but also public representatives. Because when you speak of the traveller community or any oppressed community, the power does not rest there.
No,
Power
absolutely not.
rests with the politicians.
The power is
with
with
the
the middle class
institutions.
people that run all these establishments.
For me, I would kind of see that when we speak of equality legislation, I've seen that been weakened. You know, I have concerns that it will be even weakened more, and I find certain cases going forward, it's just not having the outcome. So it has never. I believe that the traveller community has benefited somewhat in relation to the equality legislation, but not to where.
Oh, this is
would say,
fucking
oh,
dull,
that's
man.
the-
Jesus Christ.
We have travellers at the moment.
I feel like I'm in a
living in
Protestant
appalling living
fucking
conditions.
service.
Very bad.
You are.
Educational outcomes, health outcomes, the suicide rates in the community is unreal. Mental health, and I
Yeah. Well, that's the government's fault. Like, let's continue throughout this, that it's, there's no accountability at all. Like, there's nothing within the traveller community where they need to, self-reflect. It's all a problem of the government. It's created by government. It can only be solved by government. We need to throw more and more money at it, endless money at the problems of traveller problems, which he's doing very fucking well out of it. Those coats aren't inexpensive. Nice bit of knacker tweed. It's, I believe that's off a donkey, a rescue donkey. So it's environmentally friendly. It's a lot of money. Like, this whole industry is worth what, 6-7 billion euros. There's a lot of invested people in that, and if it dries up, well, then the career drives up with it. And where they go from there, I don't know. This guy has he's trained as a teacher, so maybe we just want to keep him in college. I can't imagine letting this guy loose on a a bunch of primary children, like God help them, if I found out this guy was in charge of my kids, the kids would be out of the school before you could say dirty traveller. Right, where were we? Race. Okay, that was racism as a refugee. Okay, yeah, back onto how hard it is for Irish people to name racism directly.
I can name some right now. It's right in front of my fucking face.
A matter of changing the language, because when we start talking about racism, people get a discomfort and they become very defensive. But when you identify that racism is not about individuals, it's about systems, and it's the systems of oppression. And when we shift,
Can you hear that tapping?
Yeah.
Do you know what it is?
Is it that dude's leg against the table because he's so anxious?
No, it is that dude, but
Oh.
he's on his phone.
Oh, for fuck's sake! And he has it on vibrate. Oh,
Yeah,
Christ, man.
right beside the microphone. So every letter he taps, it's vibrating.
Oh
as he
my
fucking
God.
taps it, like, it's-
Name racism directly.
racism really, I think it's a matter of changing the language, because when
how rude! Like,
I know.
let's just get up and leave, or say you have to go to the Jacks or something. But you're on a panel.
Yeah,
And
here,
you're-
I have my phone with me. Just text me if you need me.
I'd be fucking furious, like, if you're sitting down, even at a dinner or something, or out for a few pints.
Yeah.
It's like, put your fucking phone away, man, for
Well,
Christ's sake.
there's no standards at all with this so-called podcast or whatever the fuck it is. It's a fucking brainwashing seminar that's just uploaded to the internet or streamed. No organization whatsoever, like, I don't know, pick a better fucking branding, keep the dumb name if you must, but brand it better. Make the table lower and the chairs more comfortable. And how about have matching fucking microphones or something? And then lighting as well. That's shit. Or maybe they're just going for that kind of fever dream kind of experience, but like, only then could they turn around to that guy and say, look, just turn the vibrator off. If you're not going to be involved in what we're doing here, at least be quiet.
Yeah, or just move away. Or even the cards don't match color. Do they? Like, are they trying to say something there? Like, this one's fucking blue, isn't it? And the rest
Oh,
of them are
no,
black.
his is purple.
Purple. All right.
Yeah. So he's the gay one.
we start talking about racism, people get a discomfort and they become very defensive. But when
This
you
is a
identify
parody, surely.
We wish.
that racism is not about individuals, it's about systems, and it's the systems of oppression. And when we shift to that language where we are looking at what you said there, and looking at people as individuals, and actually having a language that describes people in policy that we can understand, because like when you talk about legislation and we have policies that are out there, they're general. But when you come down, even when it comes to travelers or migrants, when you come down and we change our language, like right now, there's one thing that I have an issue with. We talk of people that are coming to seek asylum, refugees and all that. But if you would just flip that and we look at everyone that is coming into Ireland as an international person,
There we go. So that's how we solve this problem, by further bastardizing the language. So we've already seen so far with Ebon get rid of categories.
Right.
Now with I can't remember his name. Bubba. With Bubba there, we need to change the description. So they're no longer refugees, asylum seekers. They're now international persons. So that's how we will flip the switch here, because if they're seen as refugees and asylum seekers, or migrants, scammers, whatever, people associate negative connotations with that, not because of any behavior associated with those categories of people, just because we're white and we're inherently racist, so we can't help it. We're also incredibly stupid, according to Bubba, because all the government needs to do now is to memory hold those words get a hold of the Newspeak dictionary,
Mm.
where all those categories are gone. So now everyone who comes into the country who isn't Irish is an international person, and therefore we can no longer categorize them into certain groups other than an international person. And one international person could be a saint, and the other international person could be a devil, but we can never talk about the devil because the other international person is a saint. Isn't it beautiful? How they use language against us.
Someone that is coming into Ireland as a social capital rather than someone who's coming to be a burden. So what is happening is that everyone who is coming into Ireland is a burden to the state, but people are coming to add value. That's not captured in the conversation now. So I think
But Bubba, I think it is captured in the conversation. We've been browbeaten with a stick, for Christ's sake, for the last 20 years, that everybody who's coming in as engineers and doctors, like that didn't just come out of the ether.
Yeah, there's no more in the conversation than on the fucking national broadcaster every fucking chance it can get to fucking lecture us.
Yes, every fucking day of the week for the last 20 years. It's only now in the last couple of years that there's been a breakthrough where Whitey has actually found the courage to say, oh, well, I think I have a problem. I think I don't like this anymore. I think it's gone too far, and I'm no longer prepared to be guilted into accepting fucking everything. And again, could you show a small bit of gratitude? Like, think of where you are. You're in the country that opened its doors to you, gave you a career and a safe haven. And now you're telling the country what it needs to do to better your fucking life, which is probably infinitely better than most natives' lives, everything being on an equal basis. Just a little thank you. No, not well. What we need to do now is change the language of everybody in the country.
Yeah, just
should
erase.
shift.
Yeah, erase any kind of objection or rebellion. Yeah, it's not like there was a book written about it. One sec. Hang on here. Where is it? Okay, Neve in the chat says, I'm done with all cultural Marxism. This is why we do this, as painful as it is for you and it is for us. We are actually just kind of, just exposing you as much as possible to the worst examples of this, to make sure that you don't forget that this is out there and you just lose all fucking patience with it and you say, fuck this.
Yeah,
That's where we need to get at as a country. It's just, fuck this. I don't even want to hear about it. Fuck off.
Yeah, I know what you're doing. I'm not buying it. Fuck off is the correct response to this, because it's not like this is a rare event. Like, this is every fucking state organization. This is a lot of multinational corporations where this shit goes on. This is your primary school. This is third level, second level education. It's fucking everywhere.
Every single second of any given day, somewhere in the world, there's a person who looks like you being preached to and condescended to because of how they look, the color of their skin, and we share that in common.
Yeah, and this is already played out. It's already dead in the States. Why we're going through the death throes here is a mystery. Maybe it's just the way it is. Maybe that the whole plan is, well, it does enough damage, and then it's time to reverse it because the damage is already done. But I don't know, things just seem to be highly accelerated in Ireland on all ends, hopefully including the antidote to it as well. So, but there's good news. So we'll hear a little bit further from him, Mike. There's good news to this as well.
The language, it's very important that we start naming things in a different way if we want to see a change. So racism itself, the way it is.
Yeah, that's what we need to do. Start naming things in a different way. Like you said, if only there was a book written about it and warning people. But I don't know if he read it. Maybe he did, but he's a different reading. He's come out with a different take. This is fucking fantastic. I'm starting my own Newspeak dictionary.
It has been framed around individuals, and people become afraid. They think we are blaming.
Get off your phone, bozo. Jesus Christ. Would somebody not just give him a slap or tug his fucking one of his dreadlocks?
White people.
I'd pay to know what's going on that phone. Like, who is he talking to? He's obviously talking to someone, right? It's not like he's not fucking. Wait, is he actually fucking replying on Twitter and stuff or something?
Probably like he's probably letting
How
people
fucking
know.
inane, you know?
Yeah, he's probably one of those, accounts on Twitter that's just, he's on everything and defending everything and
Yeah.
has to get 50, 60 posts in a day, otherwise he's not happy.
Yeah.
But we should step away from that and name the systems of oppression that exist, and then we can have better discourse on the issue.
Yeah, I think it is a major problem, because if we cannot, and that's why for me this is really important that we have that space, where we can
Oh, God.
actually name it and talk about
How many ways can we figure out to say the same fucking thing? That's their job.
Yeah.
That's what they're getting paid for.
They need a space. You've all the spaces, for fuck's sake. Where are you not seeing, like, national television, radio, anytime there's anything to do with any race issue?
Someone
even-
gives you
even-
Ribena instead of wine, allegedly, and you have loads of space.
Yeah, we're like this. You're in the schools now. You're in the colleges. You're on posters. I can't go to Tesco without being reminded now that there's fucking black freckly children on the posters. It's like, come on.
it and demystify it, and make it just normal to talk about, because if we cannot talk about it, we cannot fix
God, I
it.
can't do it anymore. I need to put something on the fire and grab a beer, because I can't fucking do this.
Stay there. You're not going any fucking where. If I have to suffer through it, you're suffering through it with me. We're nearly there. Don't worry. We're nearly there.
Because if people are still, uncomfortable, like, I'm like, okay, it's last week we were talking about who bears the burden. If we can't talk about it, if I have to make it palatable and make it nice, then then it's still you who is the victim, who is still having to go through that whole process. Oh,
I think acknowledging racism in Irish society to actually goes against Irish identity.
Yeah.
And if I'm being really honest, and particularly the post-colonial Irish identity that does exist. So the Irish identity would have been built around being oppressed,
Look, he's still on the phone.
and being colonized, and we're passive in that.
We're embarrassed.
yeah,
We're
but that
embarrassed
is-
people are
yeah.
racist.
Yeah.
Do you know that? Oh, see, we're embarrassed people are racist. Okay. I get
But
it.
the thing about
It is.
that identity is that we weren't passive.
Oh, I'm so
We're
proud
very
of
active.
myself. I said a good thing.
Did you hear what he said?
No, sorry, I was busy being an asshole.
What he's saying is that when Irish people are being called racist, it's very hurtful to us because of our own colonial past, where
Right.
we saw ourselves, we're victims of colonialism,
Right.
and that we played a passive role in that dynamic. So we weren't the oppressor, but he's saying that's wrong. We didn't play a passive role in colonialism. We actually played an active
Right.
part. So we are, in fact, colonizers.
And this is different from your average African or Asian. How?
It's not. That's the problem here. That's what the travelers need to have an uprising. Whoever's representing them is not representing them correctly.
Hmm.
And because you would think like the last person who would fall for this kind of shite is a traveler, but it would have to be a gay traveler, because I believe they're not too fond of that carry on in the traveling community, where gay lads in the traveling community get a harder time than they would in straight land. And so it looks like the university has done a number on this fellow, where not only were the Irish not victims of colonial rule, but now we were actually complicit. We're as bad as the English themselves, and we have a price to pay to all those poor colonials that we, by proxy, may suffer and, in fact, own slaves, even though we didn't, but we did.
Well, there's a whole theory about this. I'll have to ask my goofy Polish academic friend what it's called again, where we were like these passive observers of injustice, and we didn't do anything about it. So we need to come to terms with that ourselves as an identity, and it's kind of up its own arse restorative justice kind of thing, but on a collective punishment kind of level. It's really fucking weird, man.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
the average German, for instance, or even the average Pole is as complicit as the fucking Nazis for the Holocaust. That's where that kind of logic goes. And that's what is being imposed upon us by this dickhead here.
yeah. So again, they need to be told to, roundly and squarely told to shut the fuck up, and that, listen, whatever happened in the past, yes, we can learn lessons from history, but my responsibility starts, let's be generous, from when I come into the fucking world, and will end when I go out of the world, and it won't get passed on to anybody else. It will remain within me. So whatever happened in the 16th century, much like whatever happens in Vegas, stays in Vegas. Whatever happened in 1800 stays in 1800. I wasn't fucking there. If I was, I've no memory of it. And no matter what you do, ain't going to get me to remember. So shut the fuck up. And we've another 3 segments to go through, but I'm not going to torture you. So we'll jump straight to they have a question and answer section. So we'll jump straight to the question, see what kind of people are in the audience here. So where are we? 57 minutes. Okay.
All right. Is that long? Because I do need to put something on the fire, because I put.
Well, so we'll be gone. Like it's 11 o'clock now, so like we've got 3 minutes left, and then.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and then you can. All
right.
You can work away on the fire. Is the fire going out? Is it?
It should be okay for a while.
Okay.
They're not encouraged to STEM. They're not encouraged. A lot of the schools now do not. Forget about sensory room, right? Sensory room is a lovely thing to have. We're talking about do not have somewhere where a child can sit down and regulate. And that is the God's honest truth. You've got places in my town in Swords where schools are just full to capacity. And in fact,
this wasn't part of it, but why do you think that is, you dumb fucking cunt? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know, right? It's insane.
Yeah,
I mean, you have to have some a terrible degree of cognitive dissonance to be sitting there in the first place. As her, as a fat white woman.
the play areas are taken up with porta cabins. So we're talking about accessible educational. It's the same across the board for any, minority.
I can still hear your man tapping on the phone there as well. Like,
it's incredible. You know what? You link me to this, right? What I'm going to do for next week, right? I'm just going to edit all of the times that he's in frame and just zoom in on him, and we're just going to watch him for a whole half hour.
Yeah, that'll be fantastic. I'm sure that'll drive him mental as well. We'll create a couple of shorts as well and just release one every day.
And
unfortunately,
the challenge is they are not talking to the people who are involved. Look, our time is spent, but again, you will have an audience in the room. I don't know if there's a contribution or a question.
I don't know.
Fucking hell!
You must have some sort of auto zoom on it. There can't be somebody operating it, or if they are, they're terrible.
Panel or a contribution.
What the fuck is wrong with that guy?
Oh, okay.
Look, he's on gear or something. Look at that.
Yeah,
scratching himself, picking.
Scratching his injection marks.
Yeah, or he's on the crack pipe. What do they call it? When people think they got ticks underneath their skin or something like that. Try to pick them out.
Yes, we'll get you a mic.
Thank you. I'd like to ask the panelists, when you're talking to someone.
This is the worst thing that the country produces, right? And there's loads of them. It's disgusting, man. Just the fucking voice alone.
Yeah. At least it's encouraging that there's nobody fucking there.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's empty.
It is.
Yeah. Those they're only there for biscuits and tea or something.
Yeah, exactly. Tea and biscuits. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 3 colored people and 1 thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it
I
has
mean,
to identify itself.
please, like pronouns are useful on some level. I suppose.
Yeah, rare moment.
Someone about racism, and how do you get them past the kind of barrier to
Oh my
denial? Because there is
God.
kind of like,
Oh, I hate Zoomers.
Oh, like
Oh,
it's,
can we just delete them all? You know?
maybe that they need to be taken away somewhere. I was never for re-education camps, but they are needed in some senses, aren't they? It's like, what the fuck happened here? Like, what went wrong? This is a dude, isn't it? It is a dude, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
All right, so it's a dude who's been horribly feminized,
yeah,
probably close to transitioning.
yeah.
I don't. What the fuck is that? Like, is that from the guy in the end who was eating chicken or something? He missed the bean and the bone landed in his lad's hair. What the fuck?
people have kind of a suspended belief when they're like thinking about racism. Like they don't want to admit it, but it's like right in front of them. I feel like definitely when you're operating from a point of privilege to in all fields of intersectionality, there is
Oh,
that kind of
you're cooked,
barrier.
man. You're done.
Yeah.
Like there's just no hope for you, man.
He may as well be, talking about L. Ron Hubbard here, or
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They don't see the Thetans stuck to their bodies, man. You know, they're being suppressive all the time, man. I can't stand these suppressive persons.
Where you're like kind of like bell curve between like understanding and not understanding. So how do you get when you're talking to someone? What do you think when you're trying to get them past that kind of barrier of disbelief?
Or before it continues, do you hear that lisp or whatever that is? Yeah, that's put on. That's learned from the internet. That's not a real thing. I swear to God. I promise you. I'll bet the house on it.
I believe you, because it couldn't be. There's no part of Ireland where people naturally speak like that.
No.
And I don't know where I don't know where they are. I don't know if this guy is from Dublin but that accent is weird.
It's
never heard.
internet accent. That's what it is.
Oh, it's awful.
It's iCarly accent.
Ugh. What was the question? Sorry.
So how do you make people see the cult fantasy that you do, which is
All right.
racism all everywhere, around each corner, under the bed? Racism.
All right.
See that?
Okay, this should be interesting.
And when you're talking to someone about racism, there are three things that you need to look at. You're never going to change other people.
Yeah.
So they on the spectrum. So there are ones that are extreme.
He's back on the
some
phone.
that are in the middle, and some that are just there. So focus on the ones that are there, that are not yet decided. I don't waste my energy to talk about racism with anyone that is already that side. So I just focus my energy on those that are willing to be educated and they've brought themselves into that space of learning. So if someone is already being racist towards me, there's no need for me to be engaging that individual. I just turn away because that affects my own mental health. So
Okay, so if they can't be hypnotized, don't try to hypnotize them. So let's identify the people who are open to the brainwashing and focus on those alone, because you're wasting your time trying to convince somebody who can't be converted.
Brilliant.
I don't focus on that. I only concentrate on the ones that I can see there is hope. And actually, they might not know what they're saying, and they just need to be turned a bit this way so that they can get the guidance of the learning. And it's something that
We just need to bring them into the center.
It's not that people need more information and help in developing their critical thinking skills. No, they need to be changed.
Yeah.
Because we can't allow that. We can't depend upon them to come around to our way of thinking, because normally people wouldn't.
Yeah, and that body language, that's the kind of body language I use when I'm trying to show somebody how to manipulate a certain object.
Exactly.
You want to manipulate it, turn it around, twist it. You want to twist the stalk, tighten those fucking thumbnail torture devices, whatever the fuck they're called, thumb screws. There you go. Yeah, and bring them into a community center. Feed them, love bomb them. Then slowly starve them, deprive them of sleep, and hey presto, before you know it, You're speaking with this fucking weird accent that nobody's ever heard of in their life. You're wearing a bone in your hair, and nobody can tell if you're fucking male, female, white, or black. It's incredible.
Someone needs to make a conscious decision, because remember, it's not that they're just being racist to you at that moment. It's a system that has been generational. They grew up, they were socialized, and they saw it happening, and it's a taught behavior as well. They see these things happening in the houses or in the schools and the education on TV. So they're bringing all that with them. So you just have to make just a quick assessment. Are they this side, in the middle, or they are somewhere there? And then you can actually engage those people.
And I think context matters as well. Because I suppose when you look at it at an individual level, but in a professional capacity, and it depends what environment you're in, and particularly I work in a higher education
Yeah,
institution.
no one cares what you have to say.
Yeah, he's so dull. He just sucks the life out of every fucking room he's in, I'm sure.
So we have another question. 102.
Hello.
On the phone.
I have comments basically because I think each one of you, whatever you have said, and I mean, these are connected to me and my own life experience of experiencing racism, and my family also as an Indian immigrant.
Couldn't have guessed.
And then
No,
I went to
yeah, we needed that clarification. I thought you were Mexican. With the big fucking Indian head on you and the big Indian accent. Never guessed it.
to Gadi 2-3 times, and they did not record those cases. And
I couldn't understand what you were saying. Like, it's like, what? Yes, what? Hello? Hello? Oh, it's one of those
rare
fucking
moments the
call
Guardians do
centers.
their jobs properly.
Yeah, they thought it was a cold call from a call center. It's like, I don't want a fucking new phone. I told you 3 times yesterday.
before that, when first time when it happened to my husband, and we met, we
She just stop. I'm sorry, but can you ask the guy who's putting out the SOS signals at the end of the table to please fucking stop? It's very distracting. Actually, when we edit this, put in those beeps. Will you put in Morse code beeps every time he taps on that fucking phone?
wanted to go to Gadi and complain, but in the taxi we met one Indian guy. He said, no need to go to Gadi because they will not do anything about it. And not only this, he said, it's quite common, what this young people did this to you. You are foreigners. That's why, they are treated you differently. So there is a problem that not only majority, but, the minorities, they are denying racism. And there is no acknowledgement. And as one professor very rightly said, that there is this kind of social contract where the immigrants, minorities, travelers, they have all subscribed to this social contract where they have to live with this inequality. So, kind of you are being pressurized to succumb to live with a state of racism without complaining about it. As you have said, contribution.
Yeah, that's part of the slave labor deal. It's like you're brought in as slave, well, cheap labor, and that's all. That's it. You've just been, spun a lie about how welcome and cherished you are.
Yeah.
When really the majority of the population just think, "Fuck off. We're sick of you." We've been told how precious you are and how much we need you. But, people have woken up and goes, well, how did we manage it before you? We can't figure it fucking out. But they have figured it out. And if you had to just kept quiet and shut up about it, it probably wouldn't have been as big as a problem as it is now. But you keep moaning about it as if somehow you're privileged that you get special treatment. That's the experience most people have with the guards. They don't give a fuck. Because they know they're not going to solve the crime. Or what, someone called you fucking a packy? Get over it. Yeah, we'll have a team of detectives out in the morning to take a statement, and then we'll dedicate 2 weeks trying to track down the 2 14-year-old kids who called you a packy or asked you for a fucking some sort of curry sauce and a pop it up. Like, Jesus Christ.
So even if you are contributing, it doesn't matter. Like, you have been recognized, you have been racialized as different right from the outset. And
Sorry, what culture do you come from again? An egalitarian. Where is it? India, is it? No, half caste system, something like that, where people are treated based on merit. Is it?
all of you have rightly pointed out that it's a defense strategy of government.
What's your
Any
question, love?
existential crisis in Ireland, they will say it is related to immigrants. So immigrants are being projected, as bad in today's time. There is no good and bad immigrants. There are bad immigrants because
I
there is
agree.
a housing crisis, and
You've
all
talked
existing.
so much that you've convinced me. All of them are bad.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, a lesson there, and just let people talk.
Existential crisis in Ireland is because of the immigrant. Secondly, another problematic
Secondly,
thing, which concerns me more, is the kind of this denial of, there is not only denial of racism, there is a denial of race difference.
Different.
Yeah. In policy, in schools,
hang on.
in media, in universities. First of all, Ireland is not recognizing race, ethnic differences right from the very beginning. This
I think we are, aren't we? We're recognizing that certain people, groups, categories even, behave in certain ways and aren't really compatible with.
It's just our interpretation of those categories aren't to her liking. Yeah.
Oh, that's where the confusion was.
Yeah. I'm glad I could clear that up for you, Morgan.
Thank you.
is very problematic. As a result of which, what happened, because there is a denial, now minorities are blaming each other. So the Indian immigrant, they are made to believe that travelers are the problem. I mean, their kids are the ones who are creating, this kind of problem. I understand.
I don't know. Maybe they're saying clearly. Maybe their kids are being fucking hassled by travelers and going, do you know what? Listen, this C word, the category word. My kids are being hassled by fucking travelers, so there's obviously a problem with travelers. I don't think it's the government setting up, one group against the other. I think it's just how it is, Are you okay? Are you triggered by the traveler trauma?
Yeah.
Understand, they are being marginalized, but I understand their history. I understand about their lives. But many immigrants are not aware about them. Their life trajectory. They are not aware about it. There is a lot of myth about the community.
Just fucking start your own fucking podcast.
I know, right? That's one reason I'm letting it go. It's like I'm waiting for somebody to ask. Do you have a question? Like, what? Do you want to stop? Like, okay, set the fucking smoke alarm off. Something like
any step towards racial equality, it will have to start with education. Creating an awareness that there is a lot of myth. Racism do exist in Ireland, and travelers and mixed races, they have certain history. And I think as an immigrant, our kids, they must know about their history. That realization has to be there to debunk the myth and to accept that there are differences. I think any conversation, so I'm thankful that, you are having this kind of conversation.
Thank you so much. Again, we must demystify, we must talk about
That's
it.
what she means.
Yeah. Thank you for your statement.
Eben has been in Ireland long enough to learn the Irish phrase, thank you so much, which means shut the fuck up. I'm done listening to you. Now go away.
Yeah. Dennis is right. I like the travelers, don't fuck with them. Yeah, exactly. And just that understanding is there between people. So.
I've
now
had
there's a
many
whole new dynamic.
constructive and happy relationships with travelers. It's just that, on a dime, if they decide, they'll fuck you up. They'll steal your shit. If you show weakness.
Yeah.
It's just a cultural difference.
Yeah. All right, that's our lot. What are we at? 11:20. Okay, that's time. Okay.
It's not too bad.
Yeah. Okay, folks. Thanks for
Right.
joining us. We'll be back on. We'll be back on Saturday. We're getting close to Christmas. Saturday
Yes.
is the 20th. Yes, we will.
Oh, Saturday's the 20th.
Do you have anything on the 20th?
Saturday's not the 20th.
Oh no, the 13th. The following Saturday is the 20th. Jesus Christ! Like,
No, I will have to take off the rest of December.
yeah, that's cool. That works for me as well. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So join us for the end of the year show
Mm.
on Saturday. 9 o'clock. We'll be back here, and hopefully I'll have a haircut. If my hair gets any longer, I'm going to end up with a creak in my neck. Yeah. So thanks for joining in. We'll see you back on Saturday, folks.
Yeah.
Slán, agus
Slán. Agus beannacht. Take it easy, guys.